Now, our first guest today knew from the age of just 4 that she was born into the wrong body. But years of rejection, abuse and bullying led her down the wrong path and hitting rock bottom while serving some time in prison. Paris Lees resolved to turn her life around and become her true self, the proud journalist and transgender activist she is today. And as we continue to celebrate Pride Month here on Loose Women, Paris joins us in the hope that other LGBT young people won't have to experience what she did. Paris, good afternoon. Really lovely to see you today. And Paris, and that is so young. We were just saying 4 years old when you say you started to feel that you were in the wrong body. Can you explain that feeling? Can you still feel that feeling when you were just 4?
Hi ladies, thanks for having me. Yeah, I think it was one of my earliest memories really, was being on a park bench and saying to a girl who was a bit older than me, you know, I'm a girl, and her going, ah, and you know, I realised that I'd said something that was naughty, you know, and I think really that was the first time that I realised that the way I saw myself wasn't the way that other people saw me. And I guess really my childhood was a continuation of that, and just people being really very aggressive and hostile. And I went back to my hometown, you know, for Christmas, probably about 2 years ago, and felt really safe and supported, and just felt like it was okay for me to walk down the street. And I realised I'd never felt that as a child. I always felt unsafe. I always felt anxious.
And what about at school then? Were you, because you said that was the first time you'd actually said out loud, you know, oh yes, I'm a girl. Did you learn then to kind of suppress that? How were you at school? Did you get bullied?
Well, no, I mean, I used to, you know, I was very clear from a young age, as many, you know, trans people will tell you. And I was bullied violently. You know, I used to wear my sister's clothes to go to school. I got in trouble for that. My family, you know, said, you cannot do this. It is just not an option. You know, you'd have been more likely to have seen an alien walking down my high street. You know, I'm from a town in the Nottinghamshire countryside. And it was just really, every direction that I looked, it was, you cannot do this. You've been born with a, you know, and you're going to be a man. And I just knew that that wasn't right. I was very sure from a very young age, that is not who I am. You know, there's been a mistake here. And I think that maybe when I got to sort of 10 or 11, I think I tried to conform a bit more, because it sort of dawned on me the stigma and the sort of taboo. I think when you're very small, you don't realise the enormity of what you're saying. And then when I got a bit older, I thought, well, actually, is it so enormous? So I've kind of done a full circle, if that makes sense, where I was like, no, I was right the first time. Yeah. I'm a girl.
Paris,
you know?
how difficult was it to have this conversation with your parents?
It was really difficult. And I remember, you know, coming home from school one day, and I was in trouble because I'd gone to school in a skirt, and you know, I was really frightened, and they just didn't have the information really to support a child like me. You know, they just didn't know what to do. And I think, you know, my dad in particular really thought that he was going to toughen me up, you know, and I think that he thought that was the best thing to do for me at that time. Actually, it was just about the worst possible thing. But I believe that they were making the best choices that they could with the information that they had back then. But that's why it's so important we have these conversations, because there are loads of kids who feel like me, who are scared to go to school, who may not have support from their family, who, you know, may be feeling really isolated and vulnerable. And I just want those kids to know that it's okay to be who you know you are.
Yeah, absolutely. Paris, what's your relationship like now with your parents?
It's really good, actually. So I think it's fair to say that my mum thought that me being trans was going to be a huge source of shame for her and the family. And if she was here now, I think she would tell you, you know, look, I got it wrong. And actually, if I had my time again, I'd have just put Paris in a dress and let her be happy, you know. But ironically, I think, you know, what I do is a huge source of pride for my mum now. You know, I've taken her to Downing Street. You know, she's been to award ceremonies and things with me. She's my biggest supporter, and I'm really, 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 really lucky, and I'm very, very privileged. But the reality is that for a lot of trans people, they may still be going through that family rejection now. They may be getting abused every single time they leave the house in this country, and then they're seeing people saying really, really unpleasant things about them in the press. And I'm really concerned about those people, because I know what it feels like to be like that. But yes, I've got a great relationship with my mum at the moment, and actually I have a good relationship with my dad in 2020 as well. So that's nice.
Well, Paris, I just want to say thank you, because you speak out about these feelings and situations and what's going on in the community. I've had that conversation with my children, and my children, the modern world, they're very open, they're very accepting, but the conversation's been had that if you ever feel like that, please come to mum and dad. But I just wanted to also say congratulations on becoming the first trans columnist for Vogue magazine. And I love the fact that you said, I come from a council estate, and never in my wildest dream did I think I'd be writing for the magazine and being featured in it. So congratulations. How does that feel?
Oh, it's absolutely wonderful. And can I just say, I adore what Edward Enninful, the editor, is doing with this magazine. I may be biased, but I think it's the most exciting magazine in Britain at the moment. And, he's constantly surprising all of us with the choices that he's making for this magazine. So to be part of that in and of itself is a wonderful thing. But yes, coming from the sort of town that I've come from, I'm very, very proud. My life's been much better than I ever thought it could be, and that's another thing I want young people to know is, don't lose hope, because I'm honestly having such a wonderful time in 2020, and shouldn't everybody get to do that? Shouldn't everybody get to be happy and have fun and realise their full potential? So I'm very, very grateful, I write a list of things that I'm grateful for in my head when I go to sleep at night, and I'm a very lucky lady.
Well, listen, we're very, very grateful for your time today. As I said, this is all part of Pride Week, and it's so important to talk about things, isn't it, for people to understand. So thank you so much, Paris, for your time.
Thanks for having me. And can I just say thank you to Victoria Beckham for my Listen Without Prejudice T-shirt as well.
Certainly may, and you just have. Yeah. Thank you very much. Thanks, Paris. See you.